can't keep waking up alone and I don't want you to move on, but if I can't give you what you want tonight, so if you ever need me, I'll be right here where you left. I'll keep waiting, and if you ever forget, I know I won't be moving on till you come back where you belong. I'll keep waiting till you come back to the place where I'll keep waiting till you come back to where you belong. I'll keep waiting till you come back to where you belong.
And you've been acting alright. I've been crying all night. You've been acting alright. Cause every time you hide behind these lies, and I can't take it, oh no, I can't take watching it fall apart. Oh no. Now you acting like you don't care at all about my life. Wanna run away, wanna run away. You left and I slept on a mattress on the floor last night. Wanna run away. I've been feeling like everything but alright. All these tears are falling. I'm all alone and you know it. You never asked if I was okay. Anything you wanna say to me? Cause I never heard a word, made me feel the worst. You destroyed my world, yeah, all my life. You were the one that made me feel okay. You used to care, but now you run right to the next one. Sometimes I wanna die. I wanna take my life, and I told you that. Now you acting like you don't care at all about my life. Wanna run away, wanna run away. You left and I slept on a mattress on the floor last night. Wanna run away.
I'm crashing down and rising up, but always seem to fall behind. And all the lights and all the tunnels faded out and left me blind. Cause in the wild I was getting drunk with something I don't know. Oh mama, oh, the queen of love promised me that I'd be fine by tomorrow. Oh mama, oh. Now all the love within my heart is flowing like the Amazon. 'Cause in the wild I was getting drunk with something I don't know. Oh mama, oh, the queen of love promised me that I'll be fine by tomorrow. Oh mama, oh. Oh mama, oh.
Our lives continue to change, but don't let those changes get in the way of your future. Whether you're looking for a work-ready degree or you plan to eventually transfer to a 4-year university, it all starts at St. Charles Community College. SCC offers safe in-person classes, as well as virtual face-to-face and online options for our students. Spring semester starts January 15th. Enroll now at stchas.edu/spring21.
Hi, neighbor. What happens when a new pharmacy meets your neighborhood grocery store? You get CVS Pharmacy at Schnucks. That means familiar faces and convenient services, like digital tools that make it easy to manage scripts 24/7, and a free flu shot. No cost with most insurance. Get a $5 off 20 Schnucks shopping pass when you get yours. Details at cvs.com/Schnucks. Offer available through October 31st, 2020 while supplies last. Restrictions apply. Visit cvs.com/Schnucks for details.
Introducing Wendy's new Pretzel Bacon Pub Cheeseburger. With a pretzel bun, bacon, beer cheese, and a quarter pound of fresh, never frozen beef, nothing will distract you from your mission to have one. Not even your garage door, which was clearly in the way. The Pretzel Bacon Pub Cheeseburger, only at Wendy's. Download the app to order ahead and get some Wendy's rewards.
Approximate weight before cooking. Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S., Alaska, and Canada. At participating Wendy's for a limited time. Wendy's app registration required.
Kiss me hard before you go. Summertime sadness. I just wanted you to know that, baby, you're the best. I got my red dress on tonight, dancing in the dark in the pale moonlight. Down my hair up real big, beauty queen style. High heels off, I'm feeling alive. Oh my God, I feel it in the air. Telephone wires above our season Give you my emotions. I just tryna give you all my love. All my love is never enough, never enough. Is never enough, never enough. Love, love, never let me go, never let me go, no, never let me go, no, love can never let me go, never let me go from your love. Give you my emotions. I just tryna give you all my love. All my love is never enough, never enough. Is never enough, never enough. Is never enough, never enough. Is never enough, never enough.
Here we go.
And we're live. Stop smoking, Steve. It's bad for you. And welcome back. It's a lovely Sunday afternoon. It's like 85 degrees outside for some weird ass reason. And we're here for session 3 of Rime with Frostmaiden. We had some fun last week, so let's continue having fun. That's about all I got. So, Azil, it's all you. And Squeaky
That
Chair's
is
back.
like the quickest and most to the point stream introduction I've ever seen from you.
I know.
Okay. Apparently this purple doesn't like to light things, and it's kind of annoying.
It doesn't. You should go back to the one you had last week.
It's on a cycle. It on cycle. Alright, so last week, what happened? What happened? What had happened?
We did things.
This time.
Caves.
You know, nothing particularly stupid happened, like, say, jumping on a monster or anything.
Well, first the Earth cooled,
barely-
and
Yeah.
then the dinosaurs came, but they got too big and fat, and they died and turned into oil. And then sorry to reference that.
Let's see. So in the caves, you found some notes next to an abandoned fire. It says these caves are sacred to the frost giants. The carvings on the wall suggest that the giants came here to drown themselves. did they use the hot spring as a sacrificial pool. We saw some tall stick figures drawn on the walls, and they look really skinny and hungry. Saw some mixed skeletons in the ice. They do not look hungry. And I would also like to point out these are notes from Pratt's point of view. We saw a hag. Adrix hates hags. She does not look nice. She also smells a little. And the hag activated, I guess, a frost giant skeleton, which is not nice at all. Pratt killed the frost giant and was very happy about that. We killed a will-o-wisp. The Yeti proceeded to dump out the stew that was in the boiling pots and put the bodies of the fishermen into it to carry back into town. As we were heading out of the cave, Pratt was on Maxian's shoulders. We came upon a frozen waterfall and attempted to jump down. We smacked into the water, or to the ice, and released a big gross thing, which came out and grabbed Majid, and then we proceeded to fight and kill it. I think that was it.
Yes.
See, I take notes.
No, you do. I can see your sheets. Remember this. So, anyone else have anything to add? That's the main thing. And you also leveled. So
there we go.
Did we? Oh yeah, and we leveled.
What was that, Steve?
I was going to say, Dorigardo, I'm not sure if anyone
Sounds
saw
works.
him, but he tried to take that stuff off the hag without the others seeing in the party. But it's up to other people whether or not they saw me. Or
Y'all's choice.
it was that
Also-
cap, I think.
I've already.
Yeah.
I made a note last time that you like to steal things, so I'm not surprised.
Also, Snowball, did you decide on your ASI or your feat out of curiosity? Bom bom. Bom bom.
He is not in Discord.
I think he crashed out.
I think he just jumped out. Maybe he's getting the same problems.
Looks like you're muted on Discord, Kobo. There we go. Hello?
Yeah, I was having that stupid when my laptop decided to start randomly typing strings of commands.
No worries. Did you end up deciding on your feat or your ASI?
Oh, I took the ASI, as you can see from my stats.
Okay, cool. I was just checking. Because I saw it in the party sheet and I wasn't really paying attention to numbers.
Yeah, I need to delete. I need to delete that note. I put that down there for myself. The only thing to add from last week is, everyone, including what's your character's name again? Not Brogar.
Dorigardo? Me?
Yeah, you all saw Snowball basically like turned into this larger, more fierce creature for him, and his claws started dripping ice.
Ice claws. Alright. So, that being said and done, looking some small wounds that you received from the water weird, or the bone giant skeleton, zombie skeleton thing, you are free to have made your way out of the Cauldron Caves and back towards East Haven. You already told me that the bodies were in the cauldron and that Snowball was dragging the cauldron.
Yeah, I'm freezing my ass off. I'm probably asking people for their spare blankets and shit.
Can you make me a Constitution saving throw, please?
Ooh.
If you insist.
I do.
He is Derek after all.
Okay.
Strong like the bull.
You resist the effects of the chilling cold. It's still bad, but you're not hypothermic. You're not anything like that. Also, why is my face so big again? That's very strange. Okay.
Because you have a big face.
It's those COVID extra pounds.
Wow.
I kid.
You asked. You opened yourself up.
Remember that I am on this side of the table and you are on the other side.
I do not care.
All right. So, as you make your way back to East Haven, that stuff being taken care of, you're approaching just sort of the late evenings at this time. It is just as the sun would be beginning to set, if a sun did exist in Icewind Dale at this time. So, what are you doing?
Since I was in the water, do I need to take a?
Fucking motherfucker!
You have cold resist.
No, I do not.
Oh.
Crashed.
Then yes.
Thank you for the sub, and also thank you for about giving me a heart attack.
I love you, brother.
Then, yes. Can I have a Constitution saving throw from you, please, Snowball? Okay.
God.
Coolio. So, as you all have found your way back to the outskirts of East Haven, we will do this, we will do this, and we will do this.
Where we be heading to then? Are we going back to the White Lady?
From the scientist lady to go search out little elemental spirits called Chewingas. And you have the lantern to do that.
Did she ever give me the lantern?
Yes, she gave you the lantern.
Was that Maud Chiselbone?
I do not see it.
That was not Maud.
No, that was Danica Grace Deal.
It sure was.
I have a list of people. So we've completed the Toil and Trouble quest, Fisherman.
Yes.
I'm gonna remind somebody to keep that cauldron.
Yes.
Not leave it with the bodies. There's something weird about that thing. I'm telling you.
I can once we sit down, I can identify it.
I am looking. Yep.
How much were we gonna make off that job?
Oh, and Pratt was very more enamored about. I don't see no quests. And more enamored about going. Oh shit! I don't see the quest anymore. About going up to where's it, Bremen, I think.
Okay, well, apparently that stuff disappeared. Because I know I gave it to you.
Indra was going to give us some magic.
You're breaking up really bad.
I was just saying, Indra was going to give us some magical items for finding the fisherman, from what I remember.
Pinning off what we make for that fisherman caper. Stays would like to upgrade to a breastplate. Chain is just really bringing me down, brother.
It was magical items that she was going to give us, I think, if you remember.
Oh yeah. Well, quote unquote, Pratt didn't trust her though.
No, but I was just standing there basically with a sheet of ice covering him, and like, nah, enough talk. Let's take to cauldron.
Man, you need to clean that
well,
filthy, nasty thing out.
Like,
Well, before we do anything, or at least before we turn in the cauldron, I need to find a shop. Like, really quickly, please. That way I can
Wait,
figure out what the hell this is.
what do you need a shop for?
Well, we want to know what this cauldron is or does, correct?
What? Yeah, I suppose it might be handy.
On second thought, there is a silver pendant. There's a silver necklace with a gemstone pendant. I'll let that be the spell component for identify.
For this once, or
No, forever, if you want to keep it.
sure.
Well, the gemstone is a pearl.
Oh,
Done.
okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'll take that then.
You identify why walk, and he just starts dragging towards the cauldron. Well,
Yeah, but I need to sit still for just a moment, please, please.
Snowball, lad, Snowball, slow yourself down. Come over here. Come on, let's go and find a fire. I'll have a look around and see if there's any kind of, basket fires in the street. Cold places tend to have people gathered around little fires.
The smoldering ruins of the public execution still exist.
But that's the only kind of place I can see around that might be able to warm Snowball next to.
Outside, yes. Inside, you could definitely find shelter in any of the taverns or in any of the other places as well. So,
Come here, Snowball, lad. Let's go over here. Look, there's a little bit of fire left on that pyre over there. We can warm ourselves by that.
Didn't we have
I'll lead Snowball into the fire.
Didn't we have an inn where we were like staying and keeping our stuff?
Yeah, the White Lady Inn. The White Lady, but that's all the way down there, and he's freezing his arse, and he wants to identify the cauldron.
Plus, I don't think the matron of the inn would care too much for a cauldron full of human body parts.
Oh, I thought we had already cashed that in.
No.
Oh well, being in all that water must numb my head.
why not? Why?
Let's go.
Why not take bodies to person, then keep cauldron, then you check later.
This cauldron is a cauldron of plenty. Made of thick copper that has turned green with age, is 4 feet wide, has a mouth of 3.5 feet in diameter, weighs 50 pounds, and can hold up to 30 gallons of liquid. Embossed on its bulging sides are images of satyrs and nymphs in repose holding ladles. The cauldron comes with a lid and has side handles. It sits on 5 little clawed feet that keep it from tipping. If water is poured into the cauldron and stirred for 1 minute, it transforms into a hearty hot stew, which can provide 1 nourishing meal for up to 4 people per gallon.
That's cool.
The stew remains hot while in the cauldron, then cools naturally after it is removed. The outside of this cauldron remains safe to touch despite the heat of the stew. The cauldron can create 3 new items, stew 3 times, and then it ceases to function until next dawn when it regains 3 uses.
I think Snowball will be dragging around the entire campaign.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah. So that's all very good, but how heavy is that thing? We can't be dragging that around with us all the time.
It's not heavy.
I say we fashion a strap to it so the Yeti thing can carry it. I do like my stew, thank you.
So anything that we put in there is going to get warm magically, is it?
Did it have a command word?
No, it says if water is poured into the cauldron and stirred for 1 minute, it transforms into a hearty hot stew. So all you need is water.
What if? No, I'm not going to do that one.
There we go. Dave's going to go and grab a load of handfuls of snow and put the snow into the cauldron and sort of swish it around until it starts to melt.
Mm-hmm.
There's still human body parts in there.
Yeah, snow probably isn't going to also. It's probably also not going to melt inside of a copper cauldron, like in the middle.
No, but if I swish it around,
that's what prestidigitation is for.
I'll be that guy and say P has water in it.
Wow.
So we all just stand around for like 45 minutes pissing in the pot together.
I can fill it myself.
Anyway,
Mother of God. Okay.
Yes, I went there.
I think we go and show the remains to the captain of the guard, and then we keep the cauldron as payment for this little endeavor.
As part of payment, yes.
Don't worry, Snowball. We'll get you in the warm soon. Come on then, let's get over to the to Indra and show her what we've got.
So, just a note. The cauldron can feed up to 120 people 3 times a day.
4 people per gallon.
4 people per gallon,
3
and
times
it
a
holds
day.
30 gallons of liquid.
We should give that to an orphanage.
Fuck that. I mean,
Not a
what?
bad idea.
Well, giving it.
Sell it.
It's also worth anywhere from 500 to 5,000.
You think tactically maybe a device like this would feed an army on the move? Much easier than big wagon train of provisions.
The way I see it, it could feed all of us for indefinitely. So for as long as we can carry it.
I should imagine an item like that would fetch a better price up here in the frozen north as well. A warm stew is the difference between life or death for a lot of people.
You all just see Maxine just staring at the cauldron, just enamored with it, like, ugh.
Yes.
He's like, I could live out in the woods with that thing.
Yeah, Snowball will come trudging back over and grab the handle again and start dragging it towards the where the guard's captain is at or whatever.
Yeah, and the captain of the guard would reside in the town hall. Ideally, she would be there probably in the morning, but it's getting kind of quote unquote late in the day. It's been a while, so.
Well, then he'll just start yelling, "Guard captain, lady!"
I'll resort to, whoever's standing guard right now to fetch the captain because we have the remains of her quarry.
All right, so making your way back towards the town hall, this macabre jester, this kind of macabre scene of carrying these bodies through in this cauldron and just dragging them throughout the city. People begin to follow. Some people, you begin to pick up some stragglers along the way who are whispering among themselves and pointing, and overall just kind of curious as to what's going on here. As the rest of you begin to go towards the town hall, getting there and finding one of the guards who is stationed outside, it's not too hard. And seeing that beside him, he quickly runs off through the city, through the cold, crunching snow under his boots as he goes. Over the next 30 minutes, standing in this cold, you guys find some time here. We can count this as a short rest for you if you'd like.
Snowball continues to look irritable.
So if you'd like to spend hit die or anything, I will go ahead and just count this as a short rest. Wha-bam.
Oops. What is oops?
So I suppose it's too late to try and put like a blanket or something over the top of that thing. And...
Yeah, it's a little too late.
People have already seen it, yeah.
Yep.
Oh dear.
As people shielding the eyes of children, the guards out around the town hall are also kind of dispersing these people around as well. Go back to your homes. Go back. Nothing to see here. They've got it under control.
De Ricardo will reach into the cauldron and find a loose arm and sort of use it to wave to sort of one of the little kids that's like looking over at them as they're walking down the street, kind of thing.
You're a bad person.
Snowball just
I'm
starts
not scaring him. I'm not scaring the kid. The kids finding it entertaining. It's like, oh no, there are tougher breed of people around here.
Strange. Did that fix?
Nope.
Pratt?
Nope. Because it has to. It says the GM version.
Oh.
I'm assuming, though, because that table determines what gets tracked, and if we're looking for the whatchamacallits, that I shouldn't need to use it unless I have to roll on it. I don't know.
The table? What table?
Oh, that's what I linked you. If you click on that lantern, there's a table.
Oh yeah. No, the table is there to decide which creature it tracks. That one specifically tracks elementals.
Very good.
Yes. I thought that was about that the lantern wasn't identified until you open that. So, give me 1 second. Finding my story entry here. Bam. There we go. So, as you wait, as you spend some time binding some wounds, getting some hit die. Yeah, Maxian, that's fine. If there's anything messed up on your sheets, it's probably because I removed the automatic actions extension, because it was giving me some issues and kept continually adding a hunting trap into people's inventories.
Alright, fair enough.
So
That's what you were talking about with the hunting trap.
yes. So if it messed up anything on your actions tab, if you are missing anything, feel free to add it back. You know me. Go for it. So, Captain Argalath eventually is found by the guards. She does come along up from this direction, in fact. And as she makes her way to you, did you have to bring them throughout the entire town? Wow! Well, I'm sad to hear that they're dead, but what happened to these poor souls?
And I kind of push Maxian forward.
Oh,
I was about
sorry.
to say Do Ricardo looks towards Maxian.
It's always fucking me. Well, Mom, you see, and I point at the cauldron. They're in pieces. How do I say this? There's a hag, and
Is that out by the hair off the hag's head and throw it on the ground in between the guard and us?
Yes, that. A hag.
And Do Ricardo, as he's talking, has got that arm again, and he's using it to kind of wave over his shoulder.
And so, what was she doing with these bodies? Why are they eviscerated?
Are they
I again point to the cauldron. Would you like a ladle?
Oh. Well. I see. Alright, well, I will see to this. Guards! It's going to be gruesome work, but I'm sorry. And as for the cauldron, you can keep the cauldron. Now, as far as our payments goes, it seems meager by these, but and she produces 2 items from her hand.
Gimme.
You can have either one of these. It's your choice. This one, we kind of found. This is a scroll of fireball, and the second one, this one we don't quite know what it does, but it seems to be magical for sure. Most we can tell it summons some sort of creature. The first one is a scroll of fireball.
So as she says this about choosing one or the other, Do Ricardo will kind of side look to her. Look, choose one or the other. Oh, come now, Indri. You said we could have these magical items. We've been fighting hags to protect this place and find them there. You don't even know what they do. I think we should take both of these. It'll be in everyone's best interest, I think, and he'll try and persuade her.
Did I mention there was also a frost giant?
Yeah, we deserve both,
No, that's right, Snowball. That's right.
Make a persuasion.
As he's saying that, can I give him guidance? Like he's saying, I just kind of like touch his hand or touch his shoulder.
Is there a verbal component for guidance?
Let me double check. Yes. I can just say you can do it.
You can do it. Nobody can.
GM, what time of day is it? At the time?
It's always night.
Yeah.
It is forever night. As far as time goes, it would be what is normally dusk.
I'm gonna voice my support for these guys and also cast the light cantrip like right over the cauldron so all these fuckers can get a good look at the gruesomeness in there. I think we need gold too, is what I say.
Look, exactly. Look what we've been dealing with here.
Around a hat. That's what I'm thinking.
Are they soup yet?
Well, I told you that we don't have any gold to spare. These were my options for you. You have one or the other,
Exactly,
and you did agreed, and it is a job well done. However, go ahead and make a persuasion check, please.
Said item.
Is that with guidance?
I said you have your choice of items.
Can I give him guidance?
Oh no, I don't.
Yes, you can give him guidance.
Does he get an advantage because we're all helping?
Yeah, advantage and guidance. Go for it.
What does guidance give me?
Plus 1d4 to the check.
My help, in my way of helping, I'm curling my lip at her because.
22. All right, fair enough. Look, normally we agreed. However, due to the unforeseen circumstances of this, it seems only fair that I should give you both. I can't sweeten the pot with any gold, but you could probably sell that thing and get something for it. I don't know what it does, but
Don't you worry about the gold there, Indra. No, these two items are fine. That's absolutely fair enough. I think we've struck a fair deal here, and he'll put his hand out to shake her hand, or hand up to shake her hand.
and she does so. She reaches out and shakes her hand. Well, that should be our business concluded then. As always, spend some time here in East Haven if you like. Sure, some of the other towns also have some things for you to do. You were staying at the White Lady Inn, correct?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yes, well, I'm sure someone can find some work for you. And if I have need of you again, I know where to find you.
No, you come and ask anytime. Anytime at all. It's been a pleasure working with you.
And Snowball basically upends the cauldron, dumps the corpses out at her feet.
Oh, the guards have already been hauling them out and getting them out.
I was hoping to be horrifying.
I'll help you. So David Guard will take the magical items off Indra, and he'll go and he'll pass them to Maxian, but he'll make a bit of a show of it to Majid. Look, I'm giving him the items. Look, I'm not stealing them.
I wasn't the one calling you. I wasn't the one calling you a thief. That was someone else.
Who was that?
You wound me. You are a little dirty there.
Okay, well, there we go. There you go. You're off again. You say you don't say these things, and then you go off like that.
Wave a dismembered arm at a bunch of little kids.
They were loving it. It's all part of the adventure. You need to loosen up, you do.
reminds me of the episode
well,
of
let's go have a beer then with our no money.
where they use
That
vodka
sounds like
to
a good
Frost
idea.
Claw.
Snowball's already starting to drag the cauldron back towards the white lady. It's like, you all talk way much.
Pratt will hiss.
No money. 29 electrum and 1800 copper, but yet no money.
No, I just meant from this particular.
628 gold between y'all.
That wasn't aimed at the GM or at this cheapskate lady that.
She's not a cheapskate. She told you she had terms which you agreed to.
She said choice of items, so it sounds like there's more than one.
No, there were 2 items. You get your choice of the items.
All's well that ends well, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you got both of them anyway.
Either way, Snowball's dragging the cauldron over to the white lady, like, too cold.
The cauldron, though, is somehow not as frigid as you think it should be. But as you make your way back to the White Lady Inn, people have stopped following you at this point. And you also take notice. Which way do you guys go is actually the real question. Do you go down this way, or do you go up towards the coastline of Lackdenishire?
No, we'd probably walk like through the city instead of there by the shoreline where it's probably windy and cold as all.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah, it is cold everywhere. Alright, so getting to the White Lady Inn, standing towards the outside of it, and if any of you were to look out that way, you would see a decently sized keel boat. Those of you with some dark vision, it's kind of light because of the aurora. But you would see a decently sized keel boat that is trapped in the ice at the end of a wooden dock, with a small cabin that is situated towards the aft end of the hull.
How far away is that?
It's a few hundred feet.
Is there anything that's unusual about it? I mean, this is a fishing port, and
Not really, it's just trapped in the ice. It's just something that you would see.
Is it near the dock, or is it kind of trapped a little bit further away from the dock?
It's like at the end of the dock. It looks like it was moored here, and then the water froze around it.
Are there people actively trying to do stuff to free it?
Nope. It's just a boat at the end of the dock.
So Ricardo, spying the boat, will turn around to the rest of the group. Anybody fancy a little trip out?
Fire!
I want to get back to the inn.
I need to sleep.
No, well, Ricardo will take that as a no and continue on. Nothing about it really that's drawing us to it.
Alright, finding yourselves once again on the inside of the White Lady Inn. Come here, Simonscape.
Pretty much as soon as Snowball walks inside, he's gonna shove the cauldron in the corner and then pull off his overalls and just basically flop down in front of the fire to defrost.
Ah, and as you do so, the elderly innkeeper. Oh, welcome back. I see that you've dealt with this business. Good for you. Hopefully everything's all right. Look, you've already paid for your rooms. You're fine. Feel free to stay here.
Well, thank you very much, sir. And I must say, it's very nice to be back here in such a lovely establishment.
And he nods.
Pratt will ask for some mulled wine and some seeds and berries.
Of course, I'll have them brought out soon.
Oh, you made that too as well. Oh, we'll have some seeds and berries as well. And he'll nudge Pratt and give her a little wink.
Eat.
Yes, I'll take 4 gallons of water, please.
Are you going to
Alright.
make yourself a stew there, Maxine?
I am making a stew.
Better wash
Ain't a
that thing
magical
out first.
stew.
Yeah, you might want to watch it out first.
No, that's the flavor. That's the flavor. It's like Jordan
You gotta
would be
season it, you
ashamed
gotta
if
season
he
the pot.
cleaned it. Like a
That's like the
cast,
spank
browning
on
on
it.
the bottom of the tin.
cast iron fry pan. You don't wash it.
No, 1 gallon to clean it out. The rest is for the stew.
You'll make a good gravy with that, you will.
So uncivilized.
Alright.
Ajax will order a ale and a meal, warm meal.
Okay. Done and done.
Did Angorgio just say so uncivilized?
I did.
So how long ago was it that you had a monkey throwing poop at people?
Last session. He showed up. He showed up right before the TPK happened and threw it.
And you murdered us all.
Yes, I did.
Sadness. Alright, so as your food and drink are delivered outwards, and the 4 gallons of water delivered in kind of a large barrel type cask thing. Here you go. 4 gallons of water is quite a lot. But alright.
I'd like some stew.
Yeah, well, I mean, we have some of that in the back. It's already ready. I don't... Unless you're going to make your own.
This stew I don't have to pay for. And I just start making stew in the pot.
Alright, pouring
this
the
is the
4
special
gallons.
Snowball's gonna catch the sit up from where he's laid in front of the fire and look over at the tender person and go like, milk, please.
Okay. Can do. Just 1 moment though. I'd like to see how that works. And as you pour the 4 gallons of water into the copper pot and begin to stir it, after about a minute or so, the stew begins to heat and boil, and the water magically becomes what, Ravos? What does the water magically become? What kind of stew?
A very thick, hearty, vegetable stew, with little remaining bits of unknown flesh hanging out in it.
It's very good.
Vegetable. Bleh. Bring big hunk meat. No cook.
Oh yes. Is the waiter person still there?
Yeah. Oh.
Is there any raw fish, by chance?
Ooh, sushi.
Raw, no. We've got some dried.
Sure, I'll take some dried fish.
Sure. Okay, I'll bring that out for you. Well, I'm sure someone here would pay very handsomely for that. For that pot.
Are you telling me this whole time this lady is not there's this huge brass cauldron he's making stew here in the middle of her inn, competing with business?
It's an old man, yeah.
Okay.
I just have
images
of this evening sort of ending, fading to black, with us all just gorging ourselves on stew, with like stew all down our faces and sort of on the floor with extended bellies and stuff.
He made vegetable stew. That's
Ajax
horrifying.
is not eating that.
Pratt will eat it.
All right.
Oh yeah, Do Ricardo will be getting right stuck in that. In fact, as the evening kind of goes in, and Do Ricardo will be kind of making his way around the inn, and he'll be telling kind of the locals sort of the adventures with the hag and the frost giants and the caves and stuff and the fishermen. And for the first time, those that knew him will see a little bit of Do Ricardo Senior kind of in him, as he's kind of recounting the tales and he's gesticulating and jumping around the inn, getting very kind of excited about recounting the adventures.
Wonderful.
Wunderbar.
And is that all everyone wanted to do for this evening? Is there anything else?
I had to run to the door, so just a quick question: did anyone get an estimation or some kind of basically the two things we got? Maybe we can sell one of them. Maybe that one thing is cursed. Who knows?
Yeah,
No, we haven't been to any shops.
I was about to ask about that bag. Because Pratt would look in the bag?
Alright, so, looking inside the bag, you don't quite see anything.
So it's an empty bag?
As it looks to be. You can stick your hand in and find out.
Yeah, Pratt will stick their head in there and see what's in there and like feel around in like the bottom or something like that.
Yeah, and holding the bag, looking inside, it definitely feels like there should be something in it. It does have more weight to it than it should. But it does appear to be empty. As you reach your hand in, though, you feel this small, fuzzy object.
Thinking this could be like a new little sleeping bag for Tiffany, Pratt will pull out the fuzzy object.
All right, and you pull out a small fuzzy object. You have to throw it. Where do you throw it?
All right. So can I just drop it?
Yeah, you can drop it.
Yeah. So Pratt will look at it and just be like, bleh, and just like drop it on the ground.
All right.
Ricardo will be watching all this with a big smile on his face.
He killed us all.
Uh-oh. Sweet innocent Pratt killing everyone.
All right.
Broke the DM.
What's the animal?
So, as you drop this small thing at your feet, you are suddenly pushed aside as it expands magically into the form of a large panther. And there is now a panther in the end.
Nice.
It does not look like it's hostile. It doesn't look feral. It doesn't look anything like that. In fact, it is standing there looking at Pratt and awaiting orders.
Pratt will like gasp and we'll get like a huge grin and we'll try and pet the panther. Kitty.
It allows you to pet it. Mm-hmm.
What you got there, Pratt? What you got there?
Kitty.
Food. And Snowball's gonna like go leaping towards it.
Pratt will hiss.
Yeah, Dave Ricardo will try and intercept. Whoa there, Snowball. Whoa there. You can't just go eating it. And he will try and intercept him if possible.
Friend. Stupid beast. Friend.
Food.
Food. You go outside if you want food. And Pratt
You
will
have to be careful.
Pratt will tell the kitty to get behind him.
The cat moves behind you.
And
Has a steed.
I see this little, because this is Panther's a fairly bigger creature, and so
Yeah,
Pratt's
it's medium. You're small.
So I can picture Snowball and then Doragato right in front of Snowball and Pratt looking at Snowball like hissing and ready to fight, and then the cat just standing there.
Yeah, both me and Pratt are absolutely tiny, essentially, and then there's this massive Yeti and a jaguar.
Fresh.
Do I manage to stop you, Snowball, from eating or trying to eat the
Yeah, I'm sure you know how to stop him from doing stuff that's bad, like grabbing his ear or something like that.
Yeah,
2 fingers in the nose.
I would say because Pratt would totally protect Panther against Snowball if he had to.
I think
so Joe Ricardo will be like, with Snowball, he'll behave in a manner that really kind of seems to disregard the fact that Snowball's like 3 times his size. Sort of trying to grab his ear and like, no, Snowball, you don't eat the panthers like that.
Oh,
Friends.
And just so everyone knows, as far as the bag of tricks goes, the bag of tricks, this is the gray bag of tricks. It summons a random animal that you pull out from it. There are 8 options. This one just happened to be a panther. We'll figure out the other ones whenever they get rolled, whenever this gets used, because it's more fun that way.
And
so,
and somewhere Drizzt walks by and sees, oh, a panther. That's a good idea.
It's not going to our statue. No. No.
That's what I was going to say. What are you going to call it then? For some reason, I got this inspiration for a certain name.
The creature will vanish at the next dawn or when it is reduced to 0 hit points. You can pull 3 fuzzy objects from the bag each day, and then it can't be used again until the next dawn. The creature is friendly to you and your companions. It will act on your turn, and you use a bonus action to command how the creature moves and what action it takes on its next turn.
So, question with that. You said next dawn. Since it's perpetually dark here all the time...
After your long rest.
Okay.
It is once a day. Just because the sun doesn't set doesn't mean that time doesn't move.
Just out of curiosity.
I had to.
Out of character question, for an EK, I can still learn spells off of scrolls like a regular wizard can, right?
Check your spellcasting feature. I'm not entirely sure for Eldritch Knights.
I have a spell book, so no.
Yeah.
After finishing the meal and the drink, I'll head up early because I've took some damage. You know, I'm not feeling good, and I'll turn in early into bed and I'll say a small prayer to Bahamut before I go to sleep, asking him to guide me. And that's it.
Wonderful.
Wait, have you got any rope on you? Have you got any rope in that bag of yours?
Me?
No, pray.
Do I have rope? Let me see. No. I think I either sold it or didn't get it.
Have any of you got any rope you can lend me just for a few hours? Has anybody got any rope they could lend me?
If I hear you say that before I go up to turn in for the night, I will give you my 50 feet of hemp rope.
Sweet. I'll take that. I'll carefully walk over towards the panther, kind of with my hand up, trying to sort of make contact with the panther. Don't worry, Crate. Don't worry, Crate. You're gonna like this.
What are you doing to the kitty?
No, don't you worry. You're gonna like this. And he'll try and approach the panther.
Don't feed it to the big beast.
Oh no, don't you worry about that. No, relax. Relax, you'll like this.
The panther lets you approach as long as Pratt lets you approach the panther.
So very gently, Beauregard will sort of take the rope and kind of keep in contact with like eye contact with Prey, kind of like nodding and smiling. He'll just very gently put it around and sort of fashion like kind of a small kind of saddle, sort of with the rope around the top and sort of underneath the belly a little bit, and then a couple of little loops on the sides, so that that Prey could get on and have a ride around. And he said, we're going to be going to sleep, and then your panther's going to vanish, so you best have a bit of fun on her before the morning comes. And he'll sort of step back, kind of with his hands out.
Pratt will climb up to the panther. And we'll say, I've always wanted to try this, and kick their feet into the panther and just go, mush!
Alright, and inside this inn, the panther is suddenly in the center of the room and lurches towards the door.
If possible, Beauregard will slip sort of there and open the door so they can go sort of rushing out in comedy style into the snow.
All right. And jumping out and into the streets. There is this small creature on top of a panther, riding into the evening.
So from
Where are
back
you
at
going?
the inn, Del Ricardo will be shouting, "Run! Run, Prate, run!"
Where are you going?
Let's go in a random direction. So we are going we are going south.
All right. So making your way southwards, you find yourself being propelled through the streets of East Haven. Do we need to check for this? No, we don't. So, as the panther carries you, you are making your way into the snow. As long as you drive it forward, it will go. It obeys your commands. So,
are you going downtown?
Going downtown. Make my way downtown.
My way downtown.
I can imagine that it's like he's so small and the panther's so light that it's probably going across roots tops and sort of jumping across alleys and sliding under stuff and like smashing through snow drifts.
Yup.
A monkey on the back of a dog.
It is cold.
Well, Prey has the cold weather here on.
Yeah, you're fine. Okay, cool. So, that being done, yes, I will let you use this for mounted combat if you so choose.
You just tell me when the kitty disappears. And I guess I don't want to be a Luthor, but I never really put the bag back into party sheets. I kind of just dropped it into my thing because I was thinking it was like a little house for Tiffany. But you tell me when the panther goes away.
Okay. I mean, it depends on if you're coming back this evening or not.
Oh yeah, eventually I'd come back.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
just going for a ride.
Okay. Yeah, you'd probably have you'd have like 10 or so hours before the panther would go away.
Kitty.
But know that if you stay out too long, you will not get your rest.
How long of a rest do you have to have? 8 hours, I think.
6.
6 hours.
6.
6 hours. 6 hours of sleep with 2 hours of light activity.
So yeah.
Unless you're enough.
I would eventually. How long do you take? How long are your long rests? 10 hours.
No, they're 8.
8. Okay, yeah. Pratt would do this for a little bit, just running around, having some fun, and then start to get tired and say, "Okay, we go home now." So
the panther plods backwards, back the way it came, unless you take a different route.
I don't think I would have just gone just south. We would have gone, let's go over to the stables and East Way and make like a big old loop around the whole city. I mean, I'd go for about an hour or so, however long an hour travel would be.
Here's the other question. Do you run across the surface of Lacdinashire?
I don't know what Lacdinashire is.
It is a body of water that is...
No.
It is frozen.
No, I would not.
Okay, fair enough. All right. So, anyone else doing anything?
I am now on my 7th bowl of stew.
I do have one more question. Sorry. How are the residents of the city going?
Most of them are indoors at this hour. It is quite late. It is very, very cold. It's probably somewhere within -20 to -30 degrees Fahrenheit at this point.
Okay.
So you're just a kind of a blur passing by the windows. You know, like the kids just like... When you get back to the inn, you'll find Del Ricardo just sat in the snow outside, kind of, just like maybe with his little knife out, whittling away at a little bit of wood, sort of staring at the dark sky. and he'll get up and welcome you back when you get back.
That was fun. You want to try?
Oh no, I think we're all right for tonight. Maybe I'll get to have a go in future, eh?
Okay.
Well, you look like you enjoyed that.
Yes, I'm very hungry now.
All right.
Well, let's go and get. Let's see if he's got some of that stew left. Maxian's eating 150 people's worth of stew.
He's gonna turn into a zeal. No.
Wow.
Look at his face.
Unenthused.
It's the I'm going to kill Chad face.
So GM, at some point, after having a simple meal, not out of that stew, and maybe a beer, I'm going to ask, like, I guess the innkeeper or somebody where, like, a tanner is.
He's gonna kill me.
A tanner for
this direwolf pelt.
Oh, yeah, that pelt that you got.
I'd like to have somebody cure that, you know.
Well, there's really not one here in East Haven. I'm sure you could find one over in Brenshander. They have everything over there, but over here we don't have too many of those. Most of those things are outsourced. I'm sure there's somebody who could probably do it, but
wow, to get rid of this trap. Not get rid of it. I need to be able to have a way to unencumber that. I guess just taking off the backpack.
The hunter trap?
Yeah.
Are you ever going to use it?
No. Well, maybe. I don't know. I like the thought of being able to use it.
Hey. Fair enough.
But that being said, I need to unencumber myself some way, and I will think on how to do that.
You all right there, Maxian? You seem to be eating an awful lot of that stew.
Mine stew, mine stay away.
Well, maybe you should stop eating that stew now. I think you maybe had enough.
Well, I'm eating my fucking stew and just like staring my teeth at Gorgardo and Brett.
Can I have some?
No, mine.
But I helped.
You know, that belonged to a hag, remember, that cauldron? There's not some sort of curse on there that when you eat out of it, you can't stop eating out of it, is there? Because he's eating
Flesh,
a lot.
mine, flesh, mine.
You're precious.
I'll get up and I'll walk behind him. Is he against the wall or is he facing like the room? His back.
The cauldron was kind of like kind of off to the side of the room, but not like in the middle or against a wall. But I'm kind of just like up next to the cauldron, constantly scooping more into my bowl and then eating my bowl and then scooping more into my bowl.
Can I sort of maybe do a perception check on Maxian? Does he look like he's like enchanted in some way, or you know the way he's eating this stew so frantically?
Make an insight check.
Let Green have stew. Cauldron mine. I drag
Pratt will look at Snowball and kind of like do a soft hiss, but they're out of like breath right now.
You know,
I wouldn't go eating that just yet, Snowball. There might be something about that.
Mine.
I'm looking at Maxian because he's kind of acting funny. He's normally very stuffy and elvish. So can I make an insight check on him?
Yeah. So as far as the 4 on the insight check and a 19, he is not. I would say that you have seen creatures under magical control before, or under some sort of spell before. This doesn't look anything like that.
Mayhaps he's just hungry then. Beauregard will continue about his business. He'll take Najeeb's sort of word on that front if she shares that with us.
So, did Maxine take any damage earlier in that fight? I can't remember. Yeah, he did. That will-o-wisp beat the hell out of you, right?
Yeah, I did actually.
So, just out of like an abundance of caution, just because I'm like kind of empathetic that way, I would like to not make a big deal about it, but kind of walk up, behind Maxine, like pretend like I'm interested in looking in his stew, but I've already made it clear I don't want any, and I'll just casually drop a lay hands on him.
Okay.
If I understand, this cures you of a disease, neutralizes a poison. I thought it removed a curse, but I guess that's not that one. Huh. Anyway.
Yeah. So as you spend those 5 points of lay on hands, the light and touch Maxian. No effects. He does not seem to be under a disease. He's not under a curse either.
Well, let's just see how far this goes then. Snowball, come here, lad. And he'll call Snowball over. Grab that cauldron. Drag it over here.
No, mine! Flash, mine.
No, you stay there. Snowball, come on. Let's see what he does.
Mine! Stay away. Mine. Flash.
As Snowball comes up, Pratt will go running away.
What are you doing, Snowball?
Holy shit. You did it once. I don't think 5 times is going to work.
No, it costs 5 points to do the removal of disease and stuff.
But yeah, Snowball grabbed the what the hell is it called again? My brain just went. The cauldron, and just basically lift it up and move it away. It's like
I'll attempt to strike against.
I drag here.
Beauregard will have readied an action to try and grapple Maxian if he tries to strike at Snowball when he removes the cauldron.
Also, you guys should save that somewhere, just so you know where you are in Icewind Dale. All right.
I should be able to just drag that into the journal, right?
You'd have to make a new journal entry for it and then drop it in there because it's an image link. You can also just save it onto your hotbar if you'd like.
That's
right.
Odd. I had a journal entry for maps and it's empty now.
Squeaky chair. Squeaky chair.
Hi.
Uh-oh.
So what's Maxian doing? Is he going full on? Is he attacking?
So Max attempted an unarmed strike against Snowball as he moved the cauldron, and then I guess Beauregard was attempting to restrain me. So
Pratt will sit crisscross applesauce and watch.
The idea of the little tiny little halfling flinging himself at Maxie to restrain is going to be like clinging onto one of his legs. Stop!
Right, so DM, what are we doing?
Oh, you needed me for that, didn't you? All right, so as far as trying to be restrained, that would be opposing strength checks like a grapple. The grappler's strength athletics versus your acrobatics or athletics, your choice.
Do you want to do that, Ravos? Do you want to contest it like that, or do you want to just say I fail or that I succeed? I'm happy to do it that way. It's up to you.
We can do contested strength, it's fine.
I'm standing there next to him already. If he's acting funny, I will try and help restrain.
All right. So athletics with advantage for the grappler, and athletics or acrobatics for the grappled.
Grapplee? Maybe?
Athletics with advantage for me.
Damn.
Sorry, bro.
Oh, didn't do too
With a
bad
15. All right, Maxian is not restrained. What do you do?
Well, as I try and grapple him, he just kind of continues striding forward, and he'll knock me back out the way, just sort of bounce off his leg, kind of thing.
Maxine, what are you doing? We are your friends. You knock this off.
Hold on, friends, 1 second.
You gonna attack me then, or?
Prince out riding around on his cat. He's not even here.
Oh, I thought we had already come back.
Oh yeah, no, he's back again
Max.
because I was outside waiting for a break, so I wouldn't be here if break wasn't here.
Oh
yeah.
Okay, great.
This is when we came back in, yeah.
Would it be like roasted chestnuts, maybe, or?
It was just as he was typing in chat, and he was like, "Maxian's eating with almost like a frenzy," and I was like, "That's a bit weird. Like, is there something going on here? Has he got something going on with that cauldron?"
Yeah, and I mean, at this point, since Maxian also has a phone call, let's go ahead and swap to break here as well. For all of those things. So, we'll go ahead and jump to break, and then we'll be back at the half-hour mark.
Half hour? Very good. Let me do my thing. Oh, we got music.
When we were 15, I remember the car rides, small fights, conversations all night. I never saw you as anything more than a friend, but now I see you in a new light. We're getting older, there's a sparkle in your eyes that wasn't there before. You give me butterflies, it makes me wonder if there could be something more. We were only kids when we first met. Now let's discover where we have been yet. I don't wanna wonder what could have been. So baby, take my hand and let my love in.
So yeah, quick coming break. So thank you for watching. Stick around, and we'll be back in a minute.
When we were 15,
No way, don't believe a word you say. I always add, but you just take. Now the problem stays the same. No way, I couldn't count on you to stay. All the times you walked away, but my feelings never change. Can't believe all the pain that you caused me. How will that equate? All the love that I gave you that you threw away. Guess you took the bait. Always, I wait. At times I felt so safe, but you took that all away. Learn my lesson the hard way. Just stop denying. You always lying. Isn't it worth me trying? We gotta figure it out now. Gotta figure it out. Figure it out. Figure it out now. Figure it out. Figure it out. Figure it out now. Isn't it worth me trying? We gotta figure it out now. Gotta figure it out. Figure it out. Figure it out now. Figure it out. Figure it out. Figure it out now.
When the field is your office, you never get tired of going to work. Cut, rake, bale, repeat. New Holland offers the power and versatility to get through the day. From small squares to large squares and everything in between, New Holland has you covered.
Get up to $2,700 cash back plus 0% APR for 60 months on a rollbout round baler. Tap the banner for more. Dealer participation and down payment are required. For commercial use only. Customer participation subject to credit qualification and CNH Industrial Capital America LLC approval. Standard terms, conditions, and other restrictions apply.
Our lives continue to change, but don't let those changes get in the way of your future. Whether you're looking for a work-ready degree or you plan to eventually transfer to a 4-year university, it all starts at St. Charles Community College. SCC offers safe in-person classes as well as virtual face-to-face and online options for our students. Spring semester starts January 15th. Enroll now at stchas.edu/spring21.
Ugh, I have to do laundry when I get home. I have to lug all my clothes over to the washing machine. Then I get to put them in the dryer.
and accidentally shrink my cashmere sweater again.
We are back. Yay. I would want that. No, we're back. And we are back.
Yay! Oh, so you have a quotation mark in your "it's" on your stream deck thing? On your SNAS?
Do I?
Yeah, you have a quotation mark and not an apostrophe.
Oh shit, I do. I blame... not me.
Blame you.
No.
So at that point it works off your SNAS and not mine. Alright, so if everyone is back, go ahead and please click the vote thing in the chat. Because I am not fancy and don't use the ready check extension, so...
You said...
Savage.
But I like doing some things old school. I like doing most things old school, by the way, honestly. Yeah, and I played actual tabletop D&D for
years and years.
A long, long time before I ever started playing online.
Yes.
In the before time.
In the before times, yes. I will be happy whenever I can have my home group again. It would be fantastic. But while we're waiting on one player, how's Stream doing? His stream? How's your stream?
Yeah, how is stream? How are you guys doing?
Note that you can use the the points to tell people that you like them or that they don't like them, and if you
need to kill them.
use enough points this month, I will run either a battle royale or a one shot, both at level 20, for these guys. So.
I mean, to be fair though, that we haven't really, all this has been like a lot of RP, so there's really not been much use to points.
Of course, you see you guys save up so we can get a deck of many things to play with.
Oh, I know there's a few people in the chat with enough for a deck of many things, including me. But I'm not going to just like throw mine in there.
I mean, I have enough points.
That puts you're not allowed to use them.
I know Fred probably has enough points. That fucker watches everything.
Fred probably does, yeah. I'm good, Fred. I am quite good, actually. Just waiting on... I think we're waiting on Adrix to get back.
He's old. His birthday was the other day.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah.
Well, shit.
Yeah, he's old now.
No one tells me these things. Oh, here.
By the way, have you had Sirenscape up?
Yeah, I've had Sirenscape up the whole time. Enjoy your ears blowing out, Chad.
Why?
Ah, okay. 63K, you want Chad to sing.
No! Fucking asshole.
Do it.
No, I have,
you can...
I have a reward to do like an hour of karaoke or some shit. I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
I don't have it activated right now because this is your game. And yeah.
So,
Ah, we're all back. Yay.
Why am I
GM?
going out?
Real quick, just a little bookkeeping. It appears that when we leveled up, I got one more spell to be able to choose from. And add that. I just didn't want you being blindsided. Yeah.
Yeah. You get to prepare one more spell.
I hate you.
I know you do. Also, I'm going to do something to your sheet right now, just because this is my point of order for paladins and clerics. Give me 1 second here. So, you guys are welcome to continue your stuff. Pratt, you just try. Maxine is having some sort of issue here while eating the stew, and Dorogaro and Majid have tried to stop him from eating the stew. Now, what is happening?
Pratt sitting there, crisscross applesauce, eating the favorite equivalent of popcorn, watching this transpire. With the kitty sitting next to him.
Adrex is probably asleep by now.
I am just glaring, hissing at anybody that tries to come near the cauldron room. I'm trying to get it back from Snowball.
Pour it out, Snowball. Take it and pour it out so we can't have any more.
No.
I'll start. I'm just gonna pour it, start dumping it on the ground.
In the middle of the tavern.
Yep.
All right. There is now stew all over the ground. It is very hot. It does quickly cool as it touches, but past that, the cauldron is now emptied.
Then look at Majid and go, cauldron mine.
I make a death attempt to pick up any bits of remaining flesh from the stew.
All right.
And eat it.
I thought this might be coming. I thought you might be down on your hands and knees trying to.
Paying
I
special
totally
attention.
agree with you, Snowball. That cauldron, you can have it.
What does the innkeeper do when this spills over?
Well, some of you are going to clean this up, right?
Tiffany will go down and lick some.
It tastes pretty fine. A little bit bland, but it's nourishing. There doesn't seem to be anything wrong with the stew.
She's a rat. She don't care.
I've picked up all the meaty bits and I'm holding them in my hand, just clutching them to my chest. I'm just picking at them.
Give.
No, mine.
Just drop the cauldron and then try to grab him and grapple him.
All right.
Ricardo will sort of try and sort of get in the way a little bit if possible.
There's no problem.
Oh, that was garbage.
Oh no.
What was that?
I am grappled.
You are now grappled by one snowball.
Snowball lad, get him up to one of the rooms. Get him upstairs to one of the rooms. Drag him up here. Come on.
You can see. You can almost see a little light bulb pop up above Snowball's head. Like he suddenly gets an idea and he walks Majin towards the fire and starts putting his hands towards the fire. Drop it.
Maxian. First of all, too many M's. No, mine.
Drop it. And he gets your hands closer to the fire.
No.
Ricardo kind of beholding this or go, never mind. Let's see what happens here then. And he'll sit down in one of the chairs and see what happens.
I refuse to let go of the meaty bits and my hands begin to sear.
All right. Go ahead and take...
A dumb question before I actually hurt him. Healing will fix that, right?
Yeah. The fire, the burns.
Okay, and then I'm gonna. If he's not gonna let go of it, I'm gonna push his hands more into the fire. Drop it.
As my hands begin to sear, I finally drop the meaty bits into the coals and begin to weep.
And I toss him back towards Duragado.
I'm sort of sitting in a chair, so I mean, you can throw him towards me, but it's kind of up to him how he lands on it. So what happens, Maxian? Snowball's throwing you towards my chair where I'm sat.
I land defeated and prostrate on the ground, weeping.
Well, that was all a little bit strange, wasn't it? But perhaps it's been a long day for you there, Maxian. Maybe you should go and get yourself some sleep.
Don't worry, everybody. He's just tired.
And his hands are barbecued.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Delgado will pull out a healing potion. Get your lips around that. Have a drink of that. That'll help you out. And he'll give Maxian a healing potion.
I reluctantly accept it.
Go on, have that. Get that down here.
As he's doing that, I'll just ask Dorogardo, kind of under my breath, have you ever heard of the Dark Duchess?
The Dark Duchess? I mean, I kind of have studied and stuff. That's what I've been doing. Is that something that I might be able to know through my Arcana?
This wouldn't be Arcana. This would be history.
History. Okay. Shall I make a roll for whether I've heard of this before?
Yep. Go for it. 11. 11. Let me double check. Yeah. You've heard of it. You know that it was a ship, that it was a pirate ship, that used to sail in the Sea of Moving Ice a few months ago.
Oh, well, I heard about that ship, the Dark Duchess, that was around here not too long ago. Is that what you mean?
What do you know of her fate?
Well, I don't know what happened to it. There was all sorts of talk. What do you know about that ship?
I look off, kind of get that 1,000-yard stare in my face, and nothing. It's a story for another day. And I get up and I walk to my room.
I'm sorry about your hands.
Think nothing of it.
You were just acting.
I said think nothing terrible, it's fine. When I continue on my way to my room.
I'll just like go over to Dorogardo after picking up his overalls and just like lean up against him and like just looking worried that he did something wrong.
Dorogardo will kind of pat him on the shoulder. Don't you worry, lad. You sometimes have problem controlling yourself, but all's well that ends well. But I tell you what, lad, I think we should be probably getting rid of that cauldron before he comes back down in the morning. What do you reckon? You're gonna carry it with me so we can find somewhere to sell it?
I like keep, but maybe clean first.
All right, wait, you are. What time? We're sort of getting on to late evening now, aren't we, as well?
Yes, we're towards late evening. It's still the same night. Is there anything else that you guys would like to do before resting?
I'll probably carry the cauldron upstairs just so that it's secured.
Alrighty?
Pratt will make a little hastily name tag for the panther that is now called Ralph.
Alright, panther is now Ralph.
So, I'd probably do a little prayers to Saloon before bed and try and basically attempt to give Pride as much privacy or room as they need.
Beauregard will sort of go back to sort of regaling the local tavern with stories of the adventures and whatnot. Maybe telling them about what just happened with the cauldron and regaling that. He'll also be sort of listening out for any more talk about the Dark Duchess.
Okay. Good to know. Right.
Can I take like some kind of arcane or religion check to see if like any of this nonsense with Maxian makes any sense to me or touches on anything?
You could, but it wouldn't yield any fruitful results. It's one of those things where it doesn't fall into the realm of magic, and it doesn't fall into the realm of religion or divine magic either.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course.
Last thing for us before bed, Snowball would be pestering Dorogaro to give him some more common lessons.
Okay.
Well, you just wait there, Snowball. I'm wanting to find out a bit about this Dark Duchess.
Well, I meant when you finally come back, come upstairs.
All right. Okay.
So
And
real
it-
quick, out of character, a little
Jason
something
Daniel
to toss in.
Royal, thank you for the fellow. Welcome to the stream.
So you didn't find anything arcane or curse or
Closer and
poison
closer
or
to
anything like
1,000,
that
yay.
being the cause of Maxine's behavior. I will say that it's more of a, let's go with a trauma response. I'll leave it at that.
Show me on this doll where the cauldron touched you.
Yes.
Yes.
Pretty much.
If he's spellcaster at all, he may have PTSD now when he tries to cast Burning Hands.
So, those of you in the north room, the very northern room, are Pratt and Majid. Do either of you like stay up a little longer, either studying or reading in your room, or chatting or anything like that?
Probably crying a bit.
Ralph would be up there, so yes, Pratt would be petting Ralph.
Okay. Can I have, if both of you are still awake for a couple of hours, can I have perception checks from you, please?
I don't see shit.
Oddly enough, that's actually enough.
Oh.
Wow.
Even the 3 is enough.
Wow.
Kidding me.
I'm actually not kidding you. I rolled this before you guys joined the table.
They just hear Snowball snoring, right? I'm kidding.
Yes, you do hear Snowball snoring. That doesn't take any perception check at all. But looking out of the window, moving very silently, you see one form, one dark shape, leaving the East Haven ferry and coming down the dock, and it vanishes right. Wow, I don't need it that big. It vanishes right at the edge of the shoreline.
How
Was there a
big
boat
was
out
it?
there?
I'm sorry. How big was it, and
Was there a boat out there that it came off of, or did it just appear out there?
it came? You didn't see where it came off from, but you saw it on the dock. Judging from the direction it was going, it looks like it might have come off of the East Haven ferry, which has not been running. You would know this. The boat is not supposed to be running right now, because it can't. It's kind of stuck in the ice.
And then his question.
It is dwarf-sized.
I'll look over at Machine and say, "Did you see that, or am I just too tired?"
Strange to be out this late at night in such cold. Next to the water. Very cold.
But where'd they go?
I don't know. I lost sight of it there as it entered the. I assume those are like warehouses or something, right up there.
Oh, you didn't lose sight of it when it entered the buildings. You lost sight of it before that. It was there for 1 second, and then it wasn't.
Is it a ghost?
Didn't seem to be. I mean, no, it was not a ghost. I'll give you that. You're a cleric.
Thank you.
Cleric and a paladin in the same room. It's not a ghost.
This is definitely sketchy.
Well, maybe
Care
it's
to? Are you curious? You care to take a little jaunt?
I'm a little curious. Maybe it's a wizard, because I hear they can go invisible.
Or maybe it's a fiend. I'm just like, maybe it's a fiend I can smite.
And Ralph here will eat it.
Indeed. Should we alert the others?
I could say we should. Maybe they want to go and find out. But we should definitely go and check. Either way, we can bring Ralph.
All right, I'll go that way and you go that way. We'll go to different rooms and start rousing those who want to come.
I'll go for the room that does not have Snowball in it.
So I guess I'll go to that one. That's who?
feels so-
Dorigardo and Snowball.
Feel so unloved.
I think that if there's still people in the bar downstairs, Dorigardo would have been kind of down there trying to get some information about this Dark Duchess that Maxian mentioned. I don't know how long later we're at.
It's like 4 or 5 months after the events of the Dark Duchess.
No, sorry. I mean after Maxian told me about it. How many hours later are we with these guys seeing this figure?
We're like 3 hours, 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, I probably would have made my inquiries and turned in then and gone and given Snowball his common lessons.
All right. Can I have a charisma investigation check, please? So investigation check using charisma modifier. From Dorigardo.
One other
investigate.
What's the question?
How far do you think that figure was from our window?
A few hundred feet.
So. Okay.
Yeah. So essentially each hex here. I'm gonna redo.
No. I was wondering if it'd be within divine sense range, but no.
So essentially, this thing was like walking down the dock, down the dock, like out in the middle, and then it just disappeared, right?
Yes.
Okay.
There we go. I fixed the grid. Each hex is 250 feet, by the way.
Dorigardo also did his roll as well.
All right. Yes, with that investigation, there. You don't quite get any new information. Speaking the name, most people just tell you that it's a pirate ship. Sailed. I guess it wrecked. We haven't heard anything about any of the crew, out of anything like that. So, and honestly, we probably don't want to deal with them anyway. We know it came from Luskin. That's about it.
Okay, so I'll have turned in and gone and started giving Snowball his common lessons.
Motherfucker. Thank you, Fred. for giving me another heart attack. I appreciate that.
Thank Fred for that gift sub.
Oh, I was about to say. I was like, what?
Thank Fred for the gift sub.
He just wants to give me a heart attack.
So, all right. So, what are you all doing as you come into rooms and wake people up? Are you guys going out and trying to follow, or what's your plans here?
Whoever would come into Adrex's room would see him kind of taking up the full bed. Doesn't have none of his armor on, but he's leaning over the edge of the bed and puking into a bucket. His green slime, not slime. I'm sorry, green acid. And if you get closer and look down the bucket, there might be a hole that's like dripping down to the lower floor or something. But he doesn't look well.
So this isn't normal behavior.
You haven't seen him. He's complained about abdomen pain, but abdominal pain, but you haven't seen this bad. If you were the one that entered,
and you're rooming with Maxian, right?
I think I'm rooming solo, but
yeah, I think Adrix is solo.
Yeah, I would have gotten Maxian because I'm not going for Snowball.
Okay, well, so then.
I would probably wave you off and say I'm going to stay here for the night.
And then I'll go and kind of crack open Snowball's door and gauge whether it's worth my mortal life to wake up this furry bastard.
You see that the second bed is empty, so but there's basically looks like a pile of snow in the corner that's just like breathing, and it's like it looks like just a big snowball.
Ricardo will be in the bed. So.
Oh, you're in there now?
Yeah, we share a room, yeah.
So I'll just from the door with my head kind of in, just call out, Dorigardo. You know?
Yeah, what is it, lad? Sorry, what's that? What's going on?
So, we saw strange things afoot. It's late in the night, and my curiosity's sparked. Do you want to go be sneaky with us?
Have we had a long rest? Have we had long enough for a long rest?
Nope.
No.
You haven't had your long rest yet.
What did you see? What was it that was strange?
Looked like a dwarf. He was coming off a boat that should not be, and just disappeared right on the
Black
dock.
Duchess? You think it might have been the Black Duchess?
It looked like the fairy. I don't know.
Yeah. Yes. So Dorigardo will sort of get himself like, Snowball, I'm going out. You come in.
And
Snowball,
I'll
wake
leave
up.
at that point to go look in on Andrix, which is where I find him puking, and then I'll try and meet back up with Pratt.
I would have gone to see if try and get Maxian. Wake up!
Reluctantly gotten up and gotten dressed and followed Pratt out.
Okay. Were you easy to wake up?
I wasn't necessarily asleep yet.
Okay. Damn. Okay.
Does Snowball wake up and come along as well?
I am going to leave my backpack and most of my things either in the cold weather gear and my weapons here at the room.
Same.
Okay. Yep, you can do that, no problem. And
Sorry, I'm having trouble with my laptop for stuff. So, but yes, he'd get up and basically pull on the overalls and go ahead and start following.
Yeah, so I suppose we meet up with Prate and Majid and... Oh, right, that's it. Prate and Majid outside. Oh, and Maxim.
Pratt would climb onto Ralph as they are going outside.
What's going
All right.
on? Why did you wake us up?
There's something out there. It doesn't look nice. It was like a dwarf creature. He was walking down from the ferry that hasn't been running in a long time, and then he just disappeared. And he doesn't look nice. I don't like him. We should go see.
They're right. They're right.
Come
And
here.
it's very odd, this figure. It just disappeared. It's like dark magic.
Good, show me where you saw it then. I'll have a look and see if I can see any tracks in the ice. I'm good at that.
That way.
Yeah, we'll point out and give the best rundown we can.
All right. I've got a pointer at it as well. So, moving up and outside. So, who is not going?
I guess that would be me.
Just Adrix? Okay.
Adrix, yeah.
Good to know. All right. So, with Adrix not there, you all heading up towards the dock where the ferry boat was. Can I have a survival check from you, please, Dorgardo?
Okay.
All right, 18. You catch some tracks. They are... Yeah, you caught the tracks. So you catch some tracks that lead through the city. And they look as if you're following them. They would lead, it looks as if they're leading towards the town hall.
Okay. Do I recognise what's made the tracks, or kind of? Thing? Not monstrosities. I would recognise them.
Definitely humanoid.
And where can I see? I can see where they're leading to, going into the town. Can I see where they've come from?
They have. It looks as if they've come from down the dock. So definitely from the ferry, and then into the town.
So I'll relay that information then. So there's some tracks there that are coming down that dock, and they're going off into the town there.
Well, I suggest that we, it's dark. It's, well, I guess it's nighttime. I mean, like, if anyone's walked around, like, one of these old cities at night, man, you can hear everything. Should we try? I suggest we be a little quieter. I wish to spy and not get caught spying.
Well, I tells you what, this is my home terrain. I can move around here like the wind. If you want, I can follow them up and see if I can seize anything. Come back and I'll tell you what I found.
Well, we should progressively move up a bit at a time after you.
All right, you are then. Davigardo will turn to start sort of stealthily following the tracks to see if he can sort of see anything along the way.
All right. So following the tracks.
I'll be
Following
in the
tracks.
I'll be in the lead with Dorgardo helping.
All right. So following the tracks eventually leads you to the town hall. And you find the town hall doors are shut. There are no guards posted. Are you going inside? Are you...
Oh, right. Okay, sorry. So the tracks go actually into the front of the building, do they?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Is the door open and closed? Does it look like there's
It's
been
currently
breaking?
closed.
Does it
Any
look
windows?
like there's
There are no windows on the front, actually. I'm actually looking at the map, and there are no windows on the front. There are some on the sides of the building, though.
Does it look like it would be sort of scalable?
Like to get up onto the roof?
Yeah, to get up to one of the windows, looking through the window and see if it's open.
Oh, there are ground floor windows. But this is
Well,
a three-story, or sorry, this is a two-story woodland daub building, where generally the townsfolk would come to renew licenses, pay fees, settle petty claims, file complaints, and gather to discuss important issues. There's a flag of East Haven that flutters atop a cupola on the town hall's steeply pitched rooftop.
You just give me 1 second, and I'll see what I can see. And Beauregard will sort of sprint off to the building. But then, as he gets close, he'll sort of slide in and stealthily kind of go and look at the windows and climb up the side of the building, if possible, looking in windows to get a sense of what's happening on each different floor.
All right,
because I would imagine it's closed, like you said, it's closed. So I'm looking for a figure inside there, whereby there probably wouldn't be many of them.
So, there is... I'm going to go ahead and move... I'm just going to move you onto a map for right now. Bam. Let me... fix the masking here.
And if possible, he'll be sort of climbing off his dexterity. You know, he'll be sort of swinging from one sort of foothold to the next and climbing up like a frosty spider.
So not too much required here.
Basically pacing around, waiting for a signal from Dorigardo when I should make a move.
So the first window you come to is on the first floor, and it looks into a room that contains rows of desk and filing cabinets. There are a few overstuffed lounge chairs that are in there as well. That's in this room right here for you.
Oh, we got a map up somewhere, sorry.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it's like I don't have a map.
I will share this with everyone. I don't have your tokens on there yet.
Oh, yeah, I see it. Okay, yeah.
So that is that building there. These are the maps that came with the module, by the way. I wish they had more furnishing on them, but here we are.
So while he's doing that, can Pratt like scatter around with Ralph to see if we can find any people around?
Yeah, who are you looking for?
Just any people, because you said like most people are inside now, so like just walking around.
Okay.
Or being like suspicious.
Scouting around. Go ahead and give me perception checks, please.
GM, while he's rolling that, just a quick question. Dorigardo, he came in, he kind of gave us a little report as to what he was doing before he went to go start. Basically creeping around the building, right?
On the outside, though, creeping around the outside of the building to sort of see. So you'll be able to see him pretty much the whole time from where you.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So I would assume, like, we're in one of these like little alleyways or something across the street in the shadows, probably, more or less. Is that
all right?
A fair assumption, or?
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, he's within eye range of us. Is the like? Do we need to roll for any kind of stealth or anything like that?
If you're trying to be stealthy, then yes.
I mean, I would be suggesting it to those of us who are still standing there.
Dorigardo would have been being stealthy while he's trying to do this whole thing as well.
Okay. Stealth check. So Pratt, are you looking into any windows as you go?
Yes. I'm assuming these are windows.
Oh,
yeah.
Actually, would I get the Would I get my? It's not Arctic, is it? It's more urban, I suppose. Even though it's frozen.
This is
So,
urban. Yeah.
Yeah. So you need to take.
And
Need to take
it's.
2 off that.
I need to take how much off?
2.
3.
I've got double proficiency. My proficiency is 2,
Alright.
so.
It should be 3. You're level 5. Or level 4.
Oh.
Never mind. 2 off. 25. 25 still good. 15 fine. Alright, Pratt, looking into that room. So tapestries and painted landscapes decorate this room, in the middle of which is a large table surrounded by high-back wooden chairs.
Pratt thinks, oh, that's pretty. And we'll continue walking along with all these double tokens.
Yeah, I don't know why your tokens keep duplicating, and it's really annoying.
Because it's a thing with Steam Tools. I've yelled at Bob.
I have it updated. Okay.
No, it did it the other day, too. I already yelled at Bob.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm deleting the token stack for right now, then. Alright, so stacked neatly on that wall are basically just dozens of chairs. This looks like a storage room for chairs.
Very good. And then Pratt will come down here.
Alright, so coming down here, this room is like mountains upon mountains of boxes that are just stored and leaning haphazardly against all of the walls.
And I would say also, that's not actually my token, that's just a picture.
That's not possible. I dragged it from the freaking combat tracker.
There it is.
It somehow like made it into a your spiritual weapon token for some reason. I have no idea what happened.
Welcome to the thing. So Pratt will eventually come back around with Ruff.
Alright. And Torrigardo, climbing upwards. 1 second, let me grab the Sorry, you're making me check like 3 different floors at once. And it's a problem. So why is that called that? So, checking here. Alright, and right above there. So right above this room, you find one more room that looks like it has like a wooden dance floor-ish on there. There are wooden tables and chairs. There are colorful streamers hanging from the rafter. What that is, and that's kind of what you can see through the curtains that line the windows here.
Can I sort of stealthily check the windows as well, see if it's openable?
Let me check if the windows are openable. They're unlocked.
They're unlocked.
Yes, sir.
I'll try and stealth my way inside then.
Alright. Which floor are you going in?
The floor that I'm at the moment, I suppose. First
Floor 1? Opening the window and squeezing your way inside. And at this time...
I'll be moving super slow and super stealthily.
Alright.
Sort of almost trying to hide at every opportunity if there's things around for me to the chairs, moving from, crouching cover behind one chair to the next.
Okie-dokie. And I've added the rest of your tokens to the map.
Is there anything on Siren?
Not right now.
Like it wants to. Okay.
I mean, it's doing stuff. It's just very low.
I'll be making sure that I leave that window open as well that I've come in through.
All right. Excuse me. And what are the rest of you doing?
Pratt will go in.
Okay. Going in through the window as well?
Yes. With Ruff.
I'm upper floor as well, aren't I? I'm not on the ground floor.
No, this is the ground floor.
Oh no, I climbed up to the first floor to do that.
You know, how far would you say we're away from this building? These guys.
You're probably 30 feet away if you're on the other side of the street.
So while they're basically doing their nonsense, I would probably focus on using one of my divine sense uses today. See if I had any fiends, especially, but otherwise Fae, Celestial, whatever that allows me to see.
All right. You sense no Fae, fiends, celestial, or undead within your 60-foot radius.
So I'm upper floor. I climbed upper floor. I'm not on the ground floor.
Yep, I've moved you. Give me 1 second.
I do apologize. I would have been with the group, not with Dorado.
No worries.
I'll also take a second and cast Detect Magic.
All right. So casting Detect Magic. Let's see. What's the radius on Detect Magic? 30 feet?
30 feet, yeah.
All right. Where are you? Are you just doing it from where you are?
Yeah, from where I'm at, from where I'm at, and then I'm gonna keep concentration on it for duration.
Okay. Good to know. You don't sense anything within you, within your first 30-foot radius, but I will keep a watch on that for you.
As for Snowball, he's just pacing nervously, fidgeting, waiting for Durgar to give him a signal to come to his rescue.
Yeah, Pratt and Ralph would stay away from Snowball because we don't want another episode.
All right.
You nice green thing, why stay so far away?
Oh, who's doing what?
Do we have a signal with Torgardo and oh shit signal?
Not necessarily, but I think Snowball and Beauregard would have something worked out. I think Snowball knows me well enough that if I was frantically waving or beckoning you towards me, he'd be able to tell the difference.
I mean, you don't have like the secret "look up here" or a whistle or anything.
Just like like that if it's trouble, or like that if it's not.
The shrill screaming draws me immediately.
And I think we all have dark sight, don't we?
I do not.
It's only one player without dark vision. Two,
So
actually.
the trap
Yeah, I don't have
that
dark
we
vision.
followed to the town hall led up to this door, right?
Yes, they led up to this door right here.
I don't have dark vision, but I have light.
Yes. And Duragardo, it is dimly lit on the inside, so you can see.
So I'd just be, like I say, making every effort to stay hidden, but observing what I can see inside, especially anything that's out of the ordinary for a government building.
All right. So, looking in, are you going through any doors? Are you doing anything like that?
Is there anything I can see in here that's out of the ordinary?
Nope.
Is this a door down here?
Point to it.
Yep, I pointed to it.
Yep, that is a door.
Okay, so I suppose because I can stick against the wall, it seems the closest one. I'll very, very stealthily and carefully make my way to the door and have a listen through it before I do anything.
This front door, is there any signs of like a break-in or forced entry or anything like that?
No, doesn't look to be.
Okay, can I try door to see if it's locked?
Door is unlocked.
I will slowly open the door and peek in.
Alright, so opening the door and peeking in, you see what is revealed. This chamber, though, is decorated with oil paintings that depict life in East Haven, including a large painting of the town itself that is hanging on the north wall. Mounted on the south wall is a 5-foot-long stuffed knucklehead trout that has a wooden plaque below it that bears what looks to be an engraved copper plate.
Does it sing?
I don't know. You'd have to go try.
I'll slowly make my way into the room.
Are you going to say anything to the rest of us?
I'll just say it's appears to be clear. And I'll go up to where the fish is and read the plaque.
So, reading the plaque, in common, this plaque says, Big Knuck, caught by East Haven fishers during the summer of 1479. This is a 5-foot-long, stuffed, taxidermied knucklehead trout.
I wave my hand in front of its face. Does it sing or move?
It does not.
Damn.
I know, sad. But in case you're wondering what a knucklehead trout is, and also for stream, here's a knucklehead trout.
Are they huge?
They are big. So knucklehead trout are the main source of income for the people of Icewind Dale. This is the only place where these types of fish can be found. They are prized for their ivory-like bones that can be carved, and they are generally sold like good works of carvings are sold here. If you know anything about the Drizzt novels, this is how Regis makes his money. He used to carve scrimshaw, which is the bones of knucklehead trout. But yes, male knucklehead trouts weigh 70 pounds or more. Females tend to be smaller, weighing somewhere around 50 pounds. They offer food, they offer... and they offer
that's right, fishy.
Money. They're also not easy to catch. They're really strong fish, and fishing for them is quite dangerous because they can pull you overboard.
We should probably close that door so no one gets suspicious walking by. Although, I mean, what are we doing here? We were just like, we were spying on this dude. Suspicious, but I mean...
Once we go in, do we see the tracks anywhere? Like any snow prints or anything on the side?
Nope, no tracks in here. It looks like they wiped their boots clean.
I mean, at this point, we're breaking in and entering like a public building.
So, Dorgardo, are you going inside of this room?
That's cool. I didn't know
I'm listening at the door first to see if I can hear anything.
Follower only chat? I didn't know you could do that.
Can you hear anything? Yes, you can hear the dropping of bags, and you can hear a small tink as if something were hitting some sort of metal or ore.
So what's the construction of this room? Is there sort of any kind of wall space or anything, any kind of that I might be able to climb inside, you know, a little bit of a roof space or something that I might be able to get in?
Not in the room you're in, no.
Yeah, okay. I shall try to very carefully and very slowly crack the door open and sort of have a look through stealthily as I can be, you know.
All right, cracking the door. I guess I will go ahead and share this map for everyone as well, just for ease of showing things. So, cracking the door open and looking downwards, you see a couple of things. You're not going to see them on this map, and I need to add them to the other map. Give me 1 second. Because I have to place them, so give me 1 second. Because they are not automatically placed.
Yell at the person who did it.
I would love to.
None of the encounters placed on maps.
Most of them are, but some of them aren't. Which one was I at?
Should I just message Doug?
I mean, I don't know what good it's gonna do.
Like, you guys fucked it up still.
Yeah, no, it hasn't been fixed, I can tell you that. So, alright, all of these creatures are here. Let me do some things. Should be everyone. Alright, and I'm going to reveal the bottom part of the map. There's one more thing I need to add.
A bigger monitor today. I'm excited. That way I can have more real estate space. Excitement. Ooh, gross.
Here. And I need you. Are you? Alright, so looking down, low burning lanterns. I know you can see them, I want you to see them.
Oh, sorry.
So low burning lanterns cast a gentle glow upon a tall black object in the center of this room. Although one could easily mistake it for a statue, this object is actually the figurehead of a ship and is carved in the likeness of a winged demon.
Nice.
The demon-shaped figurehead stands 8 feet tall. Shards of wood jut out of the demon's back at the points where the figurehead once attached to the hull of a ship. Lashed to the figurehead with rope is a scrawny woman who is dripping wet. Her long white hair hangs over her face and obscuring it. And standing around, you can see the forms of 7 gray dwarf-like creatures. They are holding bags, and they are holding like war picks. As one of them seems to be tinking. Some of the other ones are having a conversation right now
Ding.
in a language that you don't understand.
Is it Dwarvish?
It is not Dwarvish.
Damn.
It's not infernal, is it?
Not Infernal either.
Celestial.
Do any of you speak Undercommon?
It's
One freaking language I didn't take this game.
9.
The one I don't take Undercommon.
No, I do not speak.
So, can I see them down on the ground floor? Is this kind of a balcony that's seeing down to that bottom floor?
Yes. So over on the eastern side of the map, you'll see that little like wooden structure there. Those are steps that lead upward, and those are the same steps that are on the side of your map there.
Okay, and so that the staircase that's more to the northwest, is
So
that
those
going
steps-
down into a cellar or something?
So these steps go up there. That's
You don't quite know, but it is a staircase that leads down.
It's a staircase leading down. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that was the point. Okay. Okay, so I suppose having observed this, I shall back away, closing the door.
All right.
Stealthily again, so as not to make any kind of commotion. And I will go, moving stealthily across the room. I'll go and have a listen to this door and see if I can hear anything at that door.
All right. And hearing things at that door, are any of you guys making noise?
No, I was going stealthily, or attempting to.
I do have Ralph. I don't know how if Panthers like.
They're
think
pretty
Panthers-
silent.
Yeah. It's kind of their thing, isn't it?
Yes.
Silent killers.
So, opening this door, if you were to just open it, you'd see them. You meet up with the rest of your party, who are...
Does my previous stealth roll apply? Or do I need to make a new one if that's the case?
Yes, I mean, if you want to be hidden from your own party member, sure.
No, I mean, I was just trying to be quiet to anyone else in the...
Yeah, that's fine.
So if Dorigado's opened this door and sort of can see them, then he'll kind of in hushed tones he'll call to them, guys, over here, and he'll relay what he's seen. They've got what looks like your masthead from a ship in there. That could be the Black Duchess, and there's some grey dwarf type creatures in there. Would I know what these guys are? These grey dwarf type creatures? Would I know that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would know these to be Duragar. These are gray dwarves. These are the dwarves that live in the Underdark, generally.
So they got a load of grey dwarves with the Durgar under there. They're obviously tied to this Black Duchess. The way I just come over here, that leads to a balcony over the top.
Wow. I'm out of spells. My faith is weak at the moment. My beef is weak. So it's all Fisticus if we go Indicus, you know? At least for me.
Yeah, I not got a lot of my magic left. That's for sure.
Did you not hear what they were saying?
Oh, they were speaking in some language I don't understand.
Do we have any options here, fellas? Maxian? Rat?
I mean, I have a sword, I can always fight. But do we want to?
Maybe Snowball can just bite all their faces off.
Let's get him.
Set, Rat?
I have some spells left, but maybe we come back when we're stronger, because that was a lot of guys. It looks like.
You know that at least one of them is a magic user. We saw him disappear. He didn't drink. We didn't see him drink anything like a potion before he disappeared, right?
Nope.
It's like, yeah, sure.
Let's get him.
I mean, if we come back another time, they may not be here. And they're obviously up to something from the sounds of it.
Well, this is like a public building, right? I mean, like they feel safe having their secret meeting here in this public building. I don't know. Am I smart enough to like know that? I don't know. Just seems odd.
Duragardo, make an insight check. Since you saw these things, you get the onus of the check here. An 8. Luckily I guess this isn't too hard to find out. You don't quite know why they're doing this. But judging from the bags and from the pickaxes, well, from the war picks, and from one of the Duragar in the back, you can surmise that they are probably going to break this statue, this figurehead, for some reason, and try and take parts of it.
Now, I might have missed this. Is there a reason why we care about this statue?
No. There's I just gave you something and you guys just wanted to come here. Okay.
Well, no, because somebody was talking about like the Dark Lady or something like that. I don't know if there's something that I missed.
The Dark Duchess, which is the ship.
The Black Duchess, wasn't it? Oh,
Well,
yeah,
Dark
Black Duchess.
Dark Duchess, yeah.
Dark Duchess.
Lord knows that we would ingratiate ourselves to the locals if we stopped some vandalism of their petty idols. It's not so bad, that's for sure.
Let's do it.
Out of character, are these dwarves any kind of patrons or anything that we've seen around town at all here?
No, you haven't seen anyone of this species in town, actually, and you know that it would be quite rare to see one of these species in one of the like normal towns of Lake Dinashir, or one of the normal towns of the 10 towns. It'd certainly be less rare to see them here than it would be to see them in other parts of the land, but it's still not super common.
But I tell you what, if you want to go in there and do anything, then you just go ahead and I'll support you from up here. And Dorigardo will vanish back off into the room and just again crack that door and just be observing what's going on with those dwarves while they're deciding whether they're going to go in or not.
All right, back in the party room.
I look at Maxie and Pratt. I mean, we know what Snowball wants to do here.
Well,
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Stop the giant Yeti thing. Onward.
From Dorigardo's position up here, can he see any, anything that might kind of give him any information? Do they have like, kind of any kind of ledgers or paperwork or papers with them or anything like that?
I'm sorry. What was the which guys?
Can Dorigardo see anything with the Durgard that might give information that he could try and steal? Like paperwork or folders or anything like that.
No.
Anything that seems interesting.
Okay. So,
And what was that, Pratt? Before I.
No, to say, so if we're going to do this, there's a couple things. One, would Pratt be able to get on the same level that Dorigado's at?
Yeah, you can come up either of these stairs on this side. On either of these sides. This is like a balcony that looks out over the top of it.
All right. So, so before we start, oh god, Pratt's going to use aid on himself, Majid and Mexian, which will give you 5 HP.
Question.
I was just going to say, is the light situation still dim?
Yes, dim light.
Okay. Can Dorigardo move to the other side of here and hide in this corner and hide in the shadows then?
Sure. Give me a stealth check, please.
Just out of curiosity, Steve, did you ever drop that healing potion on me earlier?
Oh no, I just gave it to you. I deleted it out of my inventory.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll 2d4 plus 2, Maxine.
Oh,
I need to fix that coding, so I'll actually do it in the party sheet. But that's
I'm re-rolling that inspiration point to re-roll that stuff.
Go for it.
Oh no, I'm a halfling. I get to re-roll it anyway.
Yep.
So, just a question, GM. Would we know from Dorigardo's scouting whether or not the route this way to the north goes through to that big room?
You could guess that it would. Like, I mean, yeah, you could guess that it would.
All right. Well, I'm gonna guess that it is. I'm gonna go through the northern passage.
So press.
Oh, there's no passage there. There's just a taper. There's just a tapestry.
Oh, that's not a doorway right there?
It's not a doorway. It's a tapestry.
Quick question for the DM.
Yep.
Neither of these doors was... That first door wasn't locked, was it?
No, none of these doors are locked.
Okay, well, I'm going to howl like a yeti before I like basically kick this door open, and I'm gonna try to like startle them and catch it by surprise, so that I can get my extra damage on my attack.
All right, and before you actually howl, I'm not trying to take a surprise moment away from you. However, all of you, while you were debating, while you were planning, you hear a loud, thundering crash as that sounds like a pickaxe slamming, or a war pick slamming into some very large structure. A yeti howls, and we will go ahead and end our session here because this combat is going to take quite a while.
Of course we are.
We're gonna die. You don't have to fight it.
I really don't think we should.
We're gonna go
That's
full.
what happens with murder hobos.
We're gonna go full A team here, and burst in like I'm gonna burst in and be like, "Stop fiends!"
Right, and we will go ahead and roll initiative for when we get back next combat.
Can you put me on the second level?
Yes, I sure can. Are you even on the first level?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're way over there. Cool. I don't... Oh, you don't need to roll it now. We can just roll it next combat.
Like.
Oh, I thought you said to roll it now. Sorry.
No. It's all good though. We'll keep them for next time. But yeah, we'll go ahead and end here because otherwise this combat is very, very long, with 7 enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Nonsense. We'll just cower them into submission. Yeah.
Yep. Good luck.
Wait, who's this? Who's this thing in the middle?
Oh, that's a woman who is tied to the. She is bound to the. So lashed to the figurehead with rope is a scrawny woman who is dripping wet. Her long white hair hangs over her face, obscuring it.
Poor girl's probably cold.
Probably.
What about this in the middle? This kind of, it looks like a crane or something.
That crane thing. Give me 1 second. Sorry. I'm switching between like 3 maps at the moment. Yeah, so that is like a little fixture in the room. It's essentially, it doesn't really do anything. It's just there. You can find some use for it though. It does swivel, it does turn. It doesn't have full range of motion though.
It looks like it's got rope already threaded.
It does, yes.
I wasn't sure where Prate was coming to, so rather than be hidden here, can I be hidden there?
Yeah, of course. And just because I want to know what this soundbite sounds like, where is that button?
Why did that dude look so much more hardcore than the others?
Oh, you mean this guy?
Yeah.
Because he is a lot more hardcore than the others.
He has a name.
That's my boo right there.
He doesn't have a name.
He doesn't have a name.
We should
Name
let Snowball
Robert
after that
Paulson.
guy first.
His name is Robert Paulson.
His name is Robert Paulson.
Is his name Robert Paulson?
No.
But
Ooh,
anywho,
I'm all hyped
we'll
now.
go ahead and end the session here, as on my cliffhangers, as per always, and we'll see if you decide to TPK or not. I guess.
Well, technically we wouldn't, because Ajax is still alive.
It would be a TPK, but it would be mostly a TPK.
He'd be meeting a whole lot of new people next week.
Ball 2, Electric Boogaloo.
But okay then.
Thanks, guys. That was fun. I'm all hyped now. I could go. I want more.
Yeah, I'm loving
Safe.
this game. It's great.
Thanks, Jim.
Yeah,
Out
thank
of
you, sir.
character.
Of course, you're welcome.
Out of character. Sorry about putting your hands in the fire.
Oh no, don't even worry about it. Dude, you're gonna have to stop me somehow. Otherwise, I was just gonna keep making 1-hour strikes.
I'm quite glad.
What?
Sorry, I was just going to say, I'm quite glad it turned out that there was something, because I thought for a few moments I was just being paranoid when I was like sort of reading between the lines on your messages and chat.
I just had to make sure that, yeah, if I stick his hands in the fire, he's gonna a healing potion or a healing spell will actually fix him, because I don't want to, like, burn his hands off.
Permanently scar him.
Suddenly, you have disadvantage for the next 3 days.
Tell stream bye. We're going bye bye.
Bye, stream.
Bye,
if we were
guys.
playing with, gritty realism rules, yes.
Okay, so that was a nice, fun little cliffhanger that he left us on. So always fun. Thank you everyone for hanging out. If you want to stay up to date on everything, join my Discord or follow my Twitter. And you can always follow my Twitch. I'm like 40 people away from getting rid of these little stupid numbers and letters. So if you could help a brother out, I would appreciate it. And we will be back here next week, or on Thursday, for some, what the hell are we playing? We will be playing, Tomb of Annihilation. So yeah, we'll be back for that, and we're going to go and raid the digital DM and say hi as soon as I can figure something out here. So yeah, let's go say hi to him, and then we will see you back on Thursday. Bye.